up, everyone? I am Wink.
And I'm Skillz.
And this is Scream Cheese. It's a show where a couple of guys who really enjoy horror like to talk about horror-ish stuff. And today, we're going to talk about that thing that a whole bunch of people have been talking about lately, and that's the fact that Scream 6 has started shooting, and that we have found out that Neve Campbell has turned down the role in that film. You were saying you don't know a whole lot about it. I don't either, but I'll catch you up on what I do know. I guess we found out at a con that she wasn't going to be in it. She divulged that, and the person who she told it to basically said at first that it was, or it had sounded like she didn't like what they did with the character. Now we have heard that that's not the case. It most likely was a dispute over pay, and so she's turned it down. Courtney Cox is going to be in that film. What do you think about the production company not paying enough, or her requesting whatever her rate is? Who would you side with, knowing very little about that?
I think she needs to be a professional and do her job. She's a millionaire. How dare her? No kidding. I'm with her because here's the thing. All her co-actors from the previous films, they all side with her. I don't know the details of the money. So it could be the situation where you or me or anybody watching, we look at the contract and we're like, dude, that's a really good deal. You're not being cool about this, but they should pay her what she's asking for. They should try to work something out. Again, I don't know the details, but it seems like they so easily, it came out of left field. Like she's not gonna be in it and it's over money. And here's the thing, she's been in all the Scream movies. So she is the face of that franchise.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
on top of that, Scream 5 was a success. Like it did really well. Now, if that film would have totally bombed or like broke even or just did okay, I would maybe look at the situation a little bit differently, but it did really well. I personally wasn't like crazy about it, but I thought it was good. And the bottom line is it comes down to money. It made a lot of money. They should have worked something out. I think it's a bad look for them. And who is it? Is it Dimension? I don't even know who's still.
No, not anymore.
Producing
it's like Paramount now, and it's like another company with Paramount, I think.
There's so many ways you can work out a deal. Like I'm big into boxing, so there's like back end, pay-per-view. There's different ways you can put a deal together to satisfy the talent. So I don't know. If it was one of those films where at the ending you think she's dead, or it was like a strong conclusion with her character, it probably wouldn't bother me so much as a fan. But now we're gonna have one of those films where they either just blow her off or they have some dialogue and a backstory about why she's not here. And do they even want to do that in the event that she might come back later? I don't know, but it sucks. I'm with her on it. So.
Yeah, I'm with her as well. Unfortunately, we're never going to know exactly what happened here because all the talk is like, well, of course she should get her rate, especially like you said, she is like the face of this franchise. She's been in all of them. She is the value there. She was in, I guess, maybe 13 minutes of the last one. Was she going to be in less of this one? Was she going to be in more of this one? Is the pay discrepancy based on that? You know, I think she should advocate for her value, of course, and she does bring a lot of value. I agree with you. This last movie was it was a good movie. It wasn't great for me, and it really is concerning to me that there is such a fan base that thinks that that movie was as good as the first one, because to me it's not even close. But certainly what they did with Sydney's character, they've really kind of watered down the legacy characters. If I were in that series, I would start to think that getting towards the sixth one after what they did in the fifth one, maybe my character isn't being utilized anymore, and maybe I don't want to be in it anyway.
Yeah, that may be what's going on exactly. They might have had her down to 5 minutes in the film. They're like, here's $500,000, and she's like, no, I'm not. So we don't know the details, but what I will say is I think it is time to move forward with the newer characters, because when you look at all the popular franchises for horror films, you don't have the same characters.
No, it's very weird to have that. That's this is an anomaly.
Yeah, she's been there through all of them. I personally feel like for the fans, I'm not probably one of those fans as far as it's not that important to me.
Right.
But for the fan base, they should have said, look, you're only in this movie 5 minutes. You want $5 million. We'll work it out for the fans and give you a good farewell or whatever. That's kind of how I feel about that. But my thing is, I think the first Scream was a masterpiece. I love it. I can watch it anytime. After that, some of the sequels were good. But the problem with it for me is when I watch Friday the 13th or Halloween or Child's Play or whatever, I can lock on to that central character and I can watch Jason or Michael or Freddy or whatever. And for me, the first one worked out because of the nature of what they were doing with Scream 1. But once I realized, like, okay, every time it's going to be somebody different playing Ghostface, now it just becomes like this mystery every film, and we're just going to copy it, and it's just a mystery. It's like, who is it this time? That's cool if you like that, but for me, it works great as a mystery, but as horror, I feel like only the first one is the one that like really blew me away and I love, and the rest of them are just okay. Like,
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. Even down to like the fact that it becomes this whodunit, and we just have this central group of characters, and then for each sequel we just tack on some ancillary characters so that we can pick which one's gonna be and see how it's gonna relate to the others. I mean, I am fine with the direction that they're gonna go, and they're gonna have this new group of like characters, but I would prefer more like how the Stab series within is, where they talked about once you get to the late sequels in the Stabs, they're not related to the original characters at all anymore. Rather than trying to like tack on these ancillary characters and do the same thing every movie, let's do wildly different shit with the story. I will say one of the conspiracy theories that would be amazing is if there is no dispute at all and they are just covering up the fact that Neve Campbell is going to be underneath the Ghostface mask at the end of this movie, which would be freaking
that would be brilliant.
Dude, that'd be badass, man.
That would be brilliant, and that's why I said earlier, they're in a situation where if they like kill her off, like via dialogue in Scream 6, the first thing that popped in my head is if she decides to come back to the franchise later, she could be the killer. But if they're doing what you're saying, that would be brilliant, and it's a possibility. And here's why I say it, is because it kind of just came out of nowhere, and it's just kind of like moved on. And the only problem though, I feel like in today's day and age, if that was the case, there's going to be like a little leak, something like people would be talking about it. So I don't know, but
yeah, I don't think that's actually the case. The thing is, you can't even get away with that this day and age. Like, everybody is scoping out the shoot. They know all the actors that are there. Like, they're shooting in Canada. Everyone's just so aware of what's happening now with shoots. You can't really hide something like that. So otherwise, the last couple of things to touch on with it is, number one, I've heard that this movie was going to be super gory. People have said that the last one was really gory. In my recollection, it wasn't really. No. It less so than most of the others, I felt like, but could be wrong. Also, there has been talk about the fact that we don't know when exactly all this went down, but presumably, if you assume you're going to have Sydney, the script would have Sydney, but there is also word that there was a Sydney script and a not Sydney script when they were going in. Okay. Basically, we are possibly now getting a different movie than we would have gotten. And now, I mean, we'll never know, but are we getting a worse product, a better product? Like, what was the A script going to be better than the B script, or is it just different? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I would say the thing I really liked in the last film was that really young girl. I thought she was great. And I could see her like taking the franchise on her shoulders. She's young. She's really good. I've seen her in other things.
She's already
definitely. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of time for the legacy characters to go.
Yeah.
I really liked David Arquette in the last one. He was probably my favorite legacy character. But yeah, that's it, man.
All right, dude. Well, I just wanted to see if anybody gave a shit about what we thought.
They don't. No one gives a flying fuck about what we think. You can bleep that out. Keep it
in any case, like I think the series is gonna do fine without Sydney. I think it's better if they have her, but dude, they're not utilizing those characters well anymore anyway. It's like they don't know what to do with them. It's such a young kind of series, and then you get these people who are now getting a little bit older in there, and like they really are kind of kneecapped in the imagination of the writers for whatever reason. Yeah. You know? Well, Skillz, it was really good talking to you about this. I'm glad we had this discussion. If you enjoyed what we were talking about here, maybe hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tell us what you think about this whole ordeal. And until next time, we'll see you on the flip.
Yeah, we'll see you on the flip. Again, if you're as bored with us as we are with ourselves, you know, hit the like button, the subscribe button. But yeah, anyways, yeah.
All right, we'll see you next time. Peace out, cheesers.
Peace.